So we have a question that was brought up on our Austin Men's Development Board. Guys, if you're looking for a men's group where you can really talk about stuff like about personal excellence, dating, sex, women, health, fitness, all that sort of stuff, join it. It's on Facebook. It's free, just so long as you're a person that's focused on that, not some fanboy, sideline guy, posturing all the time. You are welcome there. But we had a question that basically said, look, my girlfriend told me, hey, look, just don't come. Leave me alone. I want my space. I gave her space. And 2 hours later, she was pissed off that I didn't go and meet up with her or whatever the plan was. And this is something that's really important, guys. Okay. Men and women communicate totally different. And our goal is to communicate together. Now, that doesn't negate that we can't stand up for ourselves, that we shouldn't fight for respectful communication and have functioning communication get walked all over. But what it means is we have to be able to interpret what the hell that means, because it doesn't mean literally what they're asking. So if a girl in whatever situation, you're late for something, something kind of went wrong, you made a passing remark that pissed them off, or something that you don't even understand why they're mad, brings up the idea of, look, you don't care about me. Why don't you just leave? Just don't talk to me. Don't touch me. I don't want to see you. The worst thing that you can do in that situation is actually do literally what they're saying. Okay. So that means that you do leave. You do stop talking to them. You do distance yourself in some way of exactly what they're asking, because it comes from drama. And the second thing that is really terrible with that is you cannot buy into the argument. The second worst thing you can do in that situation, maybe the worst thing, is, to argue back with them. What do you mean I don't care about you? I totally care about you. Oh, so you're going to cancel the plans tonight? Oh, you just don't want me to come? You don't care about me? All that bullshit? No. Cut it out. Stop it. Exactly what you need to do is this. You need to, number one, let the drama cool. Okay. And once again, I get it. That sucks. Your girlfriend, some girl you're dating, or just anybody tells you that they stepped on your toes. You want to step back. You want to take the alpha approach and basically say, hey, you know what? You can't do that to me. Fuck you, blah, blah, blah. No, cut it out. That's not the way to handle it. Men and women communicate in different ways, and we got to learn how to communicate it together. Now, really what she's probably saying, and saying in a bad way, it's annoying, it pisses us off as guys, but it's going to happen. And I'll even say this, no matter how much you have your life together, no matter how strong or high status or whatever it is you think it is that forces people to respect you, this sort of communication is going to happen. And it goes the same. Don't buy into the argument. Don't do exactly what they say, because that's not what they mean. But although it's poorly communicated, is what they're really saying is your communication is important to me. I want it, but, I'm upset, and screw you. It's basically the woman version of like, hey, fuck you. You don't care about me, then go. I don't need you. When really what that's saying is, hey, look, I expected something from you. I really did need something. And I wanted it, and now I'm not getting it. Like, how can it happen? Well, if that was communicated to us, if they literally said that, like, man, I do want to spend this time with you, but I don't feel comfortable with it now, and it makes me sad. We would, number one, want to get past that sadness. We'd want to, or, that anxiety or that hurt or whatever it is. And again, if we put in our hurt, I know guys don't like to admit that, but when your wife or your girlfriend, or it's more serious, and she's like, get the fuck away from me, I don't want to talk to you. And you're like, what the hell happened? And even if you don't even know what happened, you're not even aware of why she's mad. You're hurt. Okay. That happens. Okay. So the worst thing we can do is put our emotion into it. What we need to do is resolve that emotion. And sometimes that's time, whether that's waiting 10 minutes, whether that's waiting an hour, whether that's like staying away for the better part of a day or a whole day or something. We need to let that happen. You're going to have to calibrate that on your own for the particular situation. But the next thing that we want to do is we want to go about business as planned. I can't tell you how many times in many relationships, and I only got this because, as I always say, I'm a guy that's made tons of mistakes. I make all the wrong mistakes. I've made them so many times that I learned what to do right. I don't want you to do that. However, on the flip side to that, I see a lot of guys who haven't made a lot of mistakes like I have make the same problem over and over again. especially guys involved in pickup, especially other dating coaches. It's like pathetic. I mean, no wonder why none of them can have relationships, because they really haven't. And it always comes back to this power play, this frame, this sense of alpha bullshit. And don't get me wrong, you got to stand up for yourself. Nobody should disrespect you, but pick your battles. And not only pick your battles, if you are going to fight at the right time. Do it to win, not to maintain the problem or create a bigger problem. So I can't tell you how many times this happened. Most recently, Maria, my wife, my partner, great, amazing woman. I truly think there's no better woman that I truly, absolutely, man. I mean, goddamn, amazing mother, wife, partner in so many different ways. It's just, it blows me away. I mean, that's why I have committed to her and so on. But she goes to San Antonio to stay with her family. I'm supposed to be there. I had to finish up some work. I'm running late. I'm doing work. It pisses her off. It upsets her. But I wanted to take a break from work, and so I mowed the lawn. Went outside, took longer than I thought, and guess what? I'm running late. Have you left yet? Text her back. Nope. Or she texts me, have you left yet? Nope, haven't left. I did the lawn, and what I didn't even finish, here's a picture of it, blah, 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 blah. It looks so much nicer, yada, yada, yada. And she's like, geez, always with you. You never put us first. You never care about blah, 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 blah. Why don't you just not come? Same thing, right? Well, guess what? I've had a lot of experience with women. I don't like being talked to that way. It does happen, even if you're with a great partner and you have all the pluses. And why? Why is it happening? Not because she thinks I'm an asshole, not because she thinks I'm a lesser person, even though I may directly interpret it that way. And it's also definitely not that she doesn't want me to come. She wants me to come. The reason why she's saying that is probably she's overwhelmed, and more specifically with her, she's overwhelmed with the situation. Her family got busy doing something. She's taking care of the kids. It's a lot of stress. I'm not there. I'm usually there. We divide the time. And, we're not partners as we normally are. We're around each other a lot, and we spend our time together in that way. We've built our lives together that way. And she's under stress. And so those things happen. Here's what happened. I drove down there, got there late. She's like, man, it's 10 something. You're here. This always happens. And I'm like, yep, sorry. It sucks. What's going on? How are you? She's pissed off maybe for like 10, 15 minutes. I don't buy into the argument. And guess what? We go back to our normal mode. Now, if this is your situation and there's somebody really disrespectful and so on, it might continue. Again, this hasn't solved your problem. All right. Your problem is that maybe we shouldn't communicate with each other that way. Maybe we need to build more awareness of when you're under certain tension and so on. And in this situation, I didn't re-bring that up to Maria because I get it, man. She's stressed out with the kids. I understand it, man. I get pissed off about a lot of stupid stuff and blow up at her in ways that I probably don't even realize. But the thing is that when you're working out your relationships with people, it's very important that you learn to communicate where it functions. Number one, if a girl tells you, and you've been in a relationship, it's not, if you're stalking a girl, leave her the fuck alone, right? Okay, so I just want to make that clear because a lot of people listen to these podcasts and so on. But if she says, hey, leave me alone, don't talk to me. I don't want to see you. Go away. Be gone. Just cancel the plans. Oh, you're late for our date. Geez, you don't even care. And it always comes back to this. It's like, you don't even care. You don't put me first. You invest so little for my emotions. Well, we see it different as guys. And again, it doesn't mean you're allowed to disrespect me. It doesn't mean that I'm brushing that off. What I mean is that we don't argue back. We don't do exactly what we say. We let the emotion cool and we go back to function, which is usually just showing up and doing what was expected. They're going to be pissed. They might start an argument. They might be mad. Say, hey, look, yeah, I'm not looking to argue. In fact, you want to know a more hardcore example? I remember I was late for a date. I was stuck in traffic. And basically the girl said, hey, where are you? And I said, whatever, coordinates I was at. This was actually before you could text. So I was on the phone and she was like, what? Why don't you just not come? You don't even care about this. And she was all worked up over it, right? Really dramatic. And I didn't really care about being in a relationship with her, but we were dating and, as a guy, you want to sow your oats in a different way. And those different types of variabilities come about. And I wasn't ready to go like, hey, see you later, lady. So I showed up at her house anyway. Actually, I just cut the call and I just said, hey, well, all right, I guess we'll talk about this later. Bye. hung up the phone. She's pissed off. You know, she's angry. A lot of times girls will call back to continue the argument. Don't do that. That's like, don't buy into the drama. If you're butthurt by it, it's not your responsibility to show her that. Tell your friends, man. That's why you go, you know, drink beer, eat pizza at the bar. Well, I don't drink, but you know, that's why guys get together and have a men's group and shoot the shit, because it is annoying. It sucks. But what did I do? Showed up at her house. She was still pissed off. Right at the doorway, pissed off. Man, you know, whatever. I thought you weren't going to come. Man, let me tell you, like a clock, this will work. Okay, later. Turn around, walk back to my car, count the paces. Won't even make 10 steps. And she's saying, well, wait, come back. Okay, now that may sound like a power play, and it kind of is. But, and again, it doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't solve my problem with her. It doesn't make her submit to me overall. Maybe in that situation she does. It probably actually like adds more to the miscommunication and the trouble that comes later. But like I said, in that relationship, it wasn't really to date somebody. It wasn't really to, you know, have this big interaction. It was like, hey, let's go have some fun. Let's get something to eat. Let's have some good sex. Let's have some good interactions and an adventure that we call life. And let's do it. And I'm just going to cut out whatever I want to cut out. That's what a man does. Okay. That's what you got to learn. Look, women communicate in one way, men communicate in another. We have to learn to come together. Why? Because being together is fucking good. That's where all the good stuff happens. And whatever you're looking for, and whatever your motive is. So let's look at that. Let's take the blame out of it and start being responsible and leading the interactions in the right way.